Oracle built-in functions. Let's start Oracle built-in functions by taking a look at the different functions available. The types of functions. The first type we want to look at is a single row function. A single row function implies that the function is applied to each row in a query. For instance, as you can see in the example, I've selected the name twice from the category table, and I've executed uppercase on the name in the second column. All this means is that every category row selected from the category table will have the function upper applied to the name field. So the single row function implies that the function is applied to every row selected from the category table. A subsidiary of single row functions are data type conversion functions. Data type conversion functions do literally as they say. They convert between data types. In other words, they convert from characters to numbers, vice versa, and dates to characters, etc. As you can see from the function here, is I've taken a number at 1 million, I've applied a format to it, which is comma delimited, and I come out with a character value of 1 million delimited by commas. The next type of functions are group functions. Group functions literally group things. They take groups of rows and add them together and apply a function to the group. So what we've done here is we've actually selected all the records from the category table and counted them. Really what we're doing is we're taking all the records, grouping them together and counting the resulting number of rows. Object reference functions are another category of functions where a reference value can be used to find the value of an object in an object table. User-defined functions. A user-defined function is a function created or defined by a user. Here we can see a function here which says create or replace function F to C, Fahrenheit to Celsius, pass in the Fahrenheit value, return the number as Celsius. This return statement internally within the begin-end loop executes the calculation. Let's go and take a look at this SQL function in SQL+. What I have here is a procedure submitted to the parser and compiled. Then I have two commands which set the server output on and enable DBMS output with a large buffer. I then execute the procedure a number of times, passing in various Fahrenheit temperatures and passing out various Celsius temperatures. I then switch the server output off and disable the large buffer in DBMS output. Set server output on allows the output of put line, new line, etc. functions from the DBMS output procedure. Without set server output on, you will not get any output from DBMS output in the SQL+ window. Executing the enable function with a 1 million character buffer simply resizes the buffer up. The default buffer with DBMS able is actually very small. So what happens when you run out of space in the buffer from executing lots of put lines is you get an error return from the procedure. What happens with DBMS output is that it will only output the result at the end of a SQL statement. By SQL statement, I mean if you have a very large stored procedure with a lot of output, a lot of DBMS output commands inside the procedure, it will only dump out that output when the procedure completes. If it's large and it puts out a lot of information to DBMS output, you could run out of space. The resulting problem with the buffer running out of space causes the procedure to crash. It won't crash the database, but the procedure will just abort and you'll get no result. So remember that. Set server output on. Enable the DBMS output buffer. Make it big. The maximum size is actually 1 million bytes, which is what we have it set to here. It's about a meg. It's big enough. Remember to disable it afterwards to switch it off because it's chewing up a sizable chunk of memory. Set the server output off. You don't necessarily need to do that, but you don't necessarily